everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. We have a lot of juicy royalty to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So I don't know about you, but I've always been extremely fascinated by the exiled royals of Europe. It's like, how are these people still rich? Where do they get their money? Where do they live? They're still walking around with titles and tiaras and jewels. They're hanging out with other nobility and royals, but they don't have a royal house. Like we're talking about the Italian royals, the Greek royals, the French royals. I lay in bed at night and wonder, how are you rich? Did your relative sew some jewels or steal some royal gems out the door as they were running to vacate the royal households? Well, you guys, we have a modern day battle for the crown of France. Yeah, there are three different pretender groups who are fighting for claimant of the French throne. If it's ever reestablished, these three separate pretenders believe that they're the rightful heirs. Now, in my opinion, this is literally the reality show of my dreams. It's a cross between The Crown meets Housewives meets Big Brother. In my opinion, we should make them do challenges. Whoever wins the right to the throne. Now, that is one reality show, y'all, I could definitely get behind. Now, there are three different modern day descendants of the last dynasties of France who are basically duking it out in modern day society. You have descendants from the House of Bourbon, the Orleanists, and even heirs to the Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, in my personal opinion, Napoleon Bonaparte's family, y'all need to bow out. Y'all aren't royal. You guys were part of an emperor. You need to exit right. I'm sorry, but the Napoleon Bonapartes, in my opinion, you have no claimant to the throne because you're not royalty. Sorry, exit right. The other two, for the Bourbons and the Orleanists, they are definitely of royal blood. But my bet is on the House of Bourbon because he is related to King Louis XIV, the Sun King, the man who built Versailles. So my money is on the House of Bourbon, but there are a lot of other people who might support Napoleon Bonaparte's bloodline, or perhaps the Orleanist. But in my opinion, that is who I'm definitely voting for. So for the Bourbons, the pretender is Louis Alfonso de Bourbon. He's 48. He styles himself as the Duke of Anjou, and he is currently a banker. For the house of the Bonapartes, you have Jean-Christophe Napoleon, who was 36, and he calls himself Prince Napoleon, and he is currently a private equity executive. So for the house of Orleanist, we have the current pretender, Jean d'Orleans, who's 57, and he calls himself the Count of Paris. Now, he is a financial consultant, so his claimant to the throne is he is through the bloodline of King Louis Philippe d'Orleans, or Louis Philippe I, who reigned from 1830 to 1848. But in my opinion, I am still backing the House of Bourbon because he's related to the Sun King. So who do you think out of these three pretenders would be the rightful heir to the crown of France? And are you with me? Should we pitch this reality show to Netflix? So is history going to repeat itself? In my opinion, it definitely is going to happen. A lot of people are speculating that Prince William, once he becomes king, is going to bring in Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie as full-time working royals. Queen Elizabeth II depended heavily on the support of her cousins to help her with the burden of being a working royal. So a lot of people don't realize that the Duke of Gloucester, the Duke of Kent, Princess Alexandria, they're still carrying out royal engagements to this day, and they were there to support her as a working royal. But by the time Prince William becomes king, there's going to be a lot fewer working royals. Remember, a lot of people thought that Prince Andrew would still be a working royal and that Prince Harry was going to be there to support his brother. But unfortunately, both of them are no longer working royals. So in my opinion, I could definitely see Princess Beatrice and her husband Eduardo stepping up to be working royals. They most recently showed up at the Jordanian royal wedding. They looked fabulous. They're elegant. They are without blemish. I think they would be the perfect accompaniment to working royals. So I, for one, am here for it. Even Princess Eugenie and her husband, in my opinion, would be a positive asset. And let's be honest, Prince William and Kate are going to need a lot of help in the future, and so is Prince George. So in my opinion, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of Princess Beatrice, possibly Princess Eugenie, but I think Beatrice and Eduardo would be fabulous as working royals. Well, a lot of drama and controversy and backlash has come out against a little bike shop in Montecito, California, by the name of Mad Dogs and Englishmen. Now, this company decided to gift Prince Archie a free bicycle for his 4th birthday. Now, I'm not mad at this company for giving Archie a free bike. I'm sure it was a very thoughtful gift. And let's be honest, it was a great marketing tactic for the company. I mean, we all got to make a dollar. I'm not mad at these people for trying to get, some publicity for their company. Now, they went to their Twitter where they posted a very nice note that they had received from Harry and Meghan in regards to the gift. It says, from the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, on behalf of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, please accept their sincere thanks for the thoughtful gift you sent to Prince Archie for his 4th birthday. The bike has brought much joy and is much appreciated by the family. They ask that I convey their gratitude at the lovely surprise. Now, they have received a lot of hate and backlash in regards to this, and this is why. People don't like to see rich, privileged people receive free gifts. This is why the royal family never accepts gifts. If you send the royal family a gift to Prince George, they'll thank you for it and they'll donate it to charity. This is why Meghan Markle threw a hissy fit when she wanted to get all of those free designer goods, and the palace told her, no, you cannot accept freebies. We have to pay for it. So people on Twitter were relentless, saying, oh, you couldn't have given the bike to a kid who needed it, maybe a kid with cancer, maybe a kid who had a bike stolen, maybe a kid who lives in a poor neighborhood, but oh no, let's give it to a rich prince who lives in Montecito. So this company is experiencing what I call the Meghan Markle Effect. You associate yourself with Harry and Meghan and you're going to get a lot of negativity and backlash, which is very unfortunate for the bike owners. I don't wish them any ill. I don't think they were doing it to be malice. They just gave him a nice little gift. But again, Harry and Meghan are not exactly well liked. And I think this bike owner is now realizing the amount of hate that they are receiving for giving him a free gift. Again, this is why the royal family, they have very strict policies on receiving gifts. You know, the royals don't accept free gifts for that reason, because they're very wealthy and it doesn't look good to receive free gifts. Instead, they will buy the items themselves, and those brands always sell out. When Catherine, the Princess of Wales, wears anything, jewelry, dresses, purse, shoes, those items will sell out. And also the royal family will pay for the goods, because a lot of rich people take advantage of their position and expect freebies. But the royal family definitely does not do that. We all know that Harry and Meghan expect discounts and their freebies, like when they went to the Carlisle Hotel and they demanded a discount and they were told no, because those people are struggling. They're a business. They need to pay employees. They need to make money. And when people like Harry and Meghan show up with their 1% privilege and their millions upon millions of dollars, and then they won't even pay full price. So in my opinion, when they show up with an attitude of, do you know who I am? You better comp the room, give me a discount, it makes them look bad. You would never see Catherine and William demanding a discount or, comping my room. They would pay full price, not a problem, because they have class. And royals don't throw their weight around. But people, if they just show up will show up to be where the royals have stayed. So again, they make more money by William and Catherine showing up and paying and being a good customer than when Harry and Meghan waltz in and demand a discount. They wouldn't even give them a discount, you guys. So in my opinion, Harry and Meghan, you know, if you're a brand, stay away from them. If you want to stay in business, I wouldn't recommend sending them any freebies. So unfortunately for this couple, they unfortunately got Markled. They're suffering the Meghan Markle effect, and I guarantee you they probably won't be doing it anytime soon. So this is the most ridiculous puff piece that I've ever read, and it shows you how desperate they are to get some positive PR for little Prince Harry. I literally have secondhand embarrassment reading this story. So there was a story of a flight attendant who also is a famous TikToker by the name of Holden Pattern. He shared a picture taking a photograph of a beaming Prince Harry while he was aboard a flight going from London back to California. But then he says, "You guys, Prince Harry left me a special gift." That's right, Prince Harry managed to sneak a copy of his book Spare into his bag. Not even a signed copy of the book. Prince Harry apparently travels with several copies of his book Spare, and he just leaves them around town. He literally put the book Spare in the guy's bag without him knowing, and he was so excited that the prince left him a copy of his book. Now, how sad is that Prince Harry is traveling with extra copies of his book Spare? It's like, Harry, you should have been traveling with extra copies of your witness testimony. You should have been making some notes on that, son, because you clearly had no clue what you were talking about on the witness stand. Maybe Harry was trying to read over his book Spare because he forgot what the ghostwriter had put in the book, because we all know they used Spare against him in his court case against the Mirror. But he definitely needed to be reading that witness statement. But apparently little Prince Harry just likes to walk around town leaving extra copies of Spare. Apparently they have quite a few of those left. What do you guys think about this? Leave me your comments down below. Well, it looks like Spotify suffered from the Meghan Markle effect, and we've been talking about this on my channel for a long time. Apparently, Meghan Markle's podcast Archetype has been canceled. The podcast series never took off. Like we've mentioned before, Meghan Markle doesn't really draw a crowd. It's like, did the producers who hired her, did they never hear this woman speak? Have they not listened to any of her word salad speeches? Because quite frankly, she would have been better doing some ASMR and putting people to sleep on purpose. That she probably would have excelled at. But trying to entertain people, even with some of her quote-unquote A-listers that she had on her show, was a complete snooze fest. And we all knew that it was going to be. Well, according to some reports, Spotify is not renewing Archetypes for season 2. Now, there's been some rumors that Meghan Markle was already recording episodes for season 2, but it has been reported that Spotify has canceled Archetypes and they have cut 200 more jobs. Now, back in the beginning of the year, they had cut off 600 employees, including Dawn Ostroff, who was the podcast boss who signed Harry and Meghan. Now, in my opinion, they made a huge mistake by paying them such a huge sum of money. She was a first-time podcaster. They paid her over $18 million. Spotify is the latest victim in a long line of companies who were finally getting the memo that Harry and Meghan have no talent and people don't want to hear what she has to say. We could have saved them $18 million and told them she's a snooze fest. Nobody wants to hear her and it's a waste of moolah. Now, someone like Joe Rogan, he gets butts in seats. He is the top podcaster. And Spotify almost ruined their relationship with Joe Rogan over the lies that they made about Meghan Markle. Remember when they came out and they're like, Meghan Markle's the #1 podcaster above Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan was like, show me the numbers, because they lied. You can lie and pretend that she's number one all you want, but money and figures don't lie. And apparently now they're realizing they're broke by laying off 200 additional people. That's 800 people this company has laid off in 5 months. That is a lot of people, guys. And like I've said before, these companies cannot afford to pay people like Harry and Meghan $18, $20, $100 million if they're not going to get their money back, if their investment is not going to pay off. And Harry and Meghan have not paid off for Spotify. They put them in the toilet. They've been markled, and we all told them it was not going to be a success. Apparently, they made a huge mistake by paying Meghan Markle $18 million up front before she produced a single episode. That is why it took her almost 18 months before she came out with Archetype in August of last year. And it was awful. It took a team of 22 people to get a mediocre podcast out of the Duchess of Do Nothing. She's lazy. She has no work ethic. And her producers didn't have the nicest things to say about Miss Markle. As a matter of fact, they were pissed that she was getting all of these stupid, bogus awards, and they're like, we're the ones who did the work. She just showed up and said, is this thing on? Can I get a Diet Coke? And she would just sit there and interview the A-list stars. She didn't do anything. She didn't come up with the concept. She didn't write the script. She didn't do the background. She didn't do the marketing. She did nothing. She barely spoke to her little celebrity friends like Serena Williams. It was boring. And I told you before, nobody cares about celebrities anymore. The age of celebrities has died. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of one percenters talk about their poor life. So it was boring. It was a snooze fest. And of course, Meghan made it about herself. So Spotify, you learned a lesson. You don't sign people who don't have a history of producing real stuff, who have real talent. $18 million, they should have paid her $1 million and maybe $1 million more after she produced the series. $18 million up front. She's not Michelle Obama. She's not Seth Rogen. So they made a huge mistake, which unfortunately has cost their company big. Just like Netflix, they're definitely experiencing the Meghan Markle effect. So now, Meghan Markle, who has a lot to say, won't be saying it on Spotify. Well, that's all the royal news that I have for you guys today. What do you think of the 3 pretenders fighting for the throne of France? What do you think of Meghan Markle and Spotify deal coming to an end? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please be sure to check out my other social media accounts and my other YouTube channel, Royal Daily Tea, History, and Fashion. And I hope to see all of you in the next video. Bye, guys.